Hey guys. Well, I just was checking out the Buatsi, and he let it be known that it's Buatsi Azeez, as he said, and so it should. Even though, and I'm talking about the gloves are off live. So down at Box Park, Wembley, Johnny Nelson, as he usually does, the gloves are off for their 40th anniversary. I think it's 40 gloves are off they've done, not 40 years, but 40 gloves are off. And they decided to do it live with a live stream, and I thought that's actually a really good idea, actually. So let me dive into it. Ultimately, this is a very tough fight for these two lads. And I'm not even talking about physically, because we know physically it is going to be a tough, grueling fight. But I'm talking about emotionally. And I don't want to bring the soppy, sappy thing, but listen, when I watched that, I even got a tad bit emotional, because looking at these two guys' face and energy, this is a tough fight, man. What I read is that they looked sad, they looked sad. They don't want to fight each other. They have to fight each other, but they don't want to fight each other. And I saw how, the peaks of the friendship peeking through, and, Dan, you don't even like that, Dan, and, come on, Joe. And it was just like, and then they would have just like moments where they looked at each other, and Dan Azeez, barely, minimal eye engagement, eye to eye with Buatsi. And you could honestly see that inside he was torn up, that I've got to fight my friend. And the same with Buatsi. Buatsi did have a lot of eye contact, was looking at Dan. And you could see in his eyes as well that this is going to mess everything up how we are. I've got a lot to prove. It's a South London derby. We're from Crystal Palace and Lewisham. That's just literally next door to each other. And whoever don't win, you can get jeered in town. Hey, you idiot, you got knocked out, or you did, you know what I mean? And so they've got that to lose. They've got friendship to lose. Joshua Buatsi's got, he's the supposed to be the golden child, the bronze Olympian. Hasn't quite mustered anything that's legacy, really. He was supposed to take the Bivol fight. Eddie's, and there was a fight, his post-fight presser. He did call out Bivol, and then his coach Virgil Hunter was like, no, we're not ready for that, really. And it kind of was like, everyone was like, ooh. And then he did get offered the Bivol fight, and then he left and decided to go to Sky Boxer, because he said he didn't feel like he was as visible on his own. Even though his last fight, guys, I forget who the geezer's name, but remember, people got up halfway and left the building. Now, I want to show you some bits and pieces, or listen to some audio of, I've got a feeling that Joshua Buatsi has knocked Dan out multiple times in sparring. Have a listen to this. Stand by.
How I see the fight going.
I'm coming to you next.
You got a bit more time to think, Dan. How I see the fight going. The bell will ring, and at the end of it, I'll win. That's literally how I see it.
Distance, inside the distance. Does he make a mistake?
As I say, and I've said 12 rounds or less. So it's just the fight will begin, and however it ends, I'll make sure that I'm the winner.
Do you believe you knock him out?
There's a chance to, I'll take it. Yeah, if there's a chance to.
You're capable of doing it?
I've shown many times.
That was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah, I've shown many times.
That was the wrong thing to say.
What do you mean by that?
I've shown many times. I've had 17, knocked out 13. I've shown I can knock people out. It's not hidden, it's in there. It's on the internet.
You're smiling. Why was that the wrong thing to say?
He knows what he means when he's saying that.
Explain. Yeah. You two know each other. Explain.
He knows what he means. But
explain.
Listen, you're right. You have shown it many times, and we'll see Saturday night.
your turn. How's the fight go? Don't sit on the fence.
No,
It's
I'm not
you're
sitting
gonna
on
have
the
the conversation.
fence. I envision maybe him trying to box a bit, but I think a war's just going to break out. I'll be honest, I feel like a war's going to break out. I know you can't go by sparring, but there's loads of times where even maybe we're doing tech sparring and someone can land one shot and then, yeah, it's all over. Everything just goes out the window, and that's what I'm expecting, so we'll see.
Boys, Saturday night is when we're going to see it. I've asked this many times before, I always ask it. Are we going to get a handshake?
After the fight.
There you go, you heard him say, I've shown many times. And then Dan responds and laughs, oh, you should have never said that. And I think Joshua Buatsi had to do some kind of damage control and realised, and he tried to style it out by saying, you know, I've had 20 fights or whatever, 17 fights, and 13 of them have come by way of knockout. I've shown it. That's what I mean. I've shown it. It's on the internet. And then, as you heard Dan say, I almost confirmed this. Yes, he's shown many times. So I'm of the belief that Joshua Buatsi has knocked out Dan Azeez not once, but multiple times in sparring. Dan Azeez made a point that the people in Sky Boxer, even though it's Dan's belts on the line, so we've got the British, the Commonwealth and the European title, and Joshua Buatsi comes with nada. Why it had to be Buatsi versus Azeez. They said because Buatsi, who admitted he's a diva, throws his toys out the pram, and I think we saw that once he was with Eddie, with how that all went down. And I never ever thought of him as a diva until I started to. And this face-off, it showed me a lot about both their characters. They both care about each other. I just hope they really be friends, and even tighter friends afterwards. Also, Buatsi's demeanour. It's always Buatsi's demeanour. He always comes in calm, calm, collected. Dan Azeez seems like he's just got a lovely spirit to him as well, a lovely vibe, nice personality, very laid back. Seems that he has a lot of respect for Joshua, even though he's the older guy. And he said, I wasn't supposed to be here. So Joshua Buatsi's also trying to say that he wasn't supposed to be here because of his life journey. He said, I wasn't even supposed to be in England. So I'm not too sure on I haven't really researched on Buatsi's journey to the UK. I'm assuming then he wasn't born in the UK and then he was born in Ghana and then came over then. But I mean, all in all, I think that was a successful live. Gloves are off. Is there anything else that I want to take away from that? The face-off. The face-off was intense. They literally faced off for a hot minute. And then in the end, you saw Azeez be like, oh, come on, let's turn around, mate. But it was almost like Buatsi was just looking through him. Azeez, like I said, Azeez wasn't comfortable with eye contact. And that leads me to think, and with what I've just told you guys, that I'm going to still stick with my prediction of Joshua Buatsi. He's going to go through the trenches. They're going to go through. This fight ain't going to be easy. This fight's actually either going to be a wash or a war. Or it could be... Two things can be right at the same time, Shan. So it could even be a war, but somebody's getting washed. A la Spence Crawford. That was a war. It was one side. One was on the battlefield. You know what I mean? One was in the war. One was... Let's not even go there. But he got washed. Do you understand? So it could be that type of vibe. I'm wanting it to be competitive, not like how Spence Crawford was. I mean, in the war, it was just like a massacre. I should say that fight was a massacre. Spence Crawford. I want Buatsi Azeez to be a war. And I'm just going to say I want Azeez Buatsi to be a war, because I think Dan Azeez deserves a lot of plaudits and for his achievements. I mean, the geezers did it so super correct. I really want him to win, but I don't think he will. And he'll just fall shy of this world title position. Joshua Buatsi's been underwhelming, very disappointing with his trajectory, because his projected trajectory was this kid was going to be like a world champ already and yada yada yada, but no, he hasn't really did that. He stank out the joints a couple of times, but he always finds his way to win. And I've seen him, he knocks people out, he activates this beast mode. Does he come in usually with his hair cut? I forget. He comes in with his hair cut on the night of the fight. That's what he does, doesn't he? He grows it all out, goes all grizzly in camp, and then night of the fight he comes in and he's the smooth boy. So it's kind of like it's Ghana versus Nigeria, their rivals, and then you've got a South London derby where you've got Crystal Palace versus Lewisham, Louis Mazza. Those are from London, no. And then you got one that's not originally from Sky, and Buatsi keeps pointing out that, you know, Azeez is favoured by Ben Shalom. Well, let him have some favouritism, because you've walked through all of this. Buatsi is the little diva, so let him. You've been the favourite. You're not in 50-50 fights. You're in fights that you're always the favourite. You're gonna win. And like as he said, Azeez has always been scrutinised. I don't think he'll be able to pull this one off. I don't think he'll, to beat this guy. And he's done it. And he's done it in excellent fashion. English title, Southern Areas, English title, British title, European Commonwealth. He's done it. He's done what he's got to do. Commonwealth, European, yeah. He's done. I mean, and next is world. So I mean, let him have some. Let someone favour him. Do you know what I mean? Because with the bookies, I don't think he's a favourite. So I'm going with CHANN's prediction. I'm going with Joshua Buatsi, and I think there's going to be a stoppage. Late round stoppage. I'm going to go anywhere between 10 to 12. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to a points decision, and even if it went to a points decision, I'd probably have Buatsi. He has a really good established jab as well, so, and he's more fundamentally sound and sharp and a bit more polished than Dan. But Dan can beat Buatsi. There's a little entry point to take him out. I think Azeez will go for it. Azeez, I think he's gonna hurt Josh. I think he's going to back Josh up. I think he's going to make Josh uncomfortable. But ultimately, I think he's going to be stopped. So that's my prediction. That's my reaction of Buatsi versus Azeez on The Gloves Are Off. Anyway, guys, I'm gone. You tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, share, please, so we can mess up these algorithms. We want to be, all of my people are Liddy again, Liddy again, Liddy again, yo, we're Liddy again. We want to be lit. I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann, none less. Come on with CHANN. Gyan. Wow, man, their friendship has left the buildings in. Gyan.